You are causing enough pain to your mother, your father, your neighbor, your community, and this country. Put down the gun. All over this country, the government is opening up opportunities to allow you all to make something of yourselves. Because if you live by the gun, rest assured, a gunman will make sure that you die by the gun.
Non-stop, with no more violence, no hate, no pretense, with all man prepared to seek truth all year. So if you find that now is the time, raise your hand and receive. To make a pledge, yes, to bury crime. Raise your hand and receive. To build back broken communities. Raise your hand. To show the meaning of family. Let's show all them detractors, them hitmen, extractors. The true meaning of unity. Raise your hand, let me see.
Raise it. You know, that's my back. I changed out the girl song, eh? This song is just raise your hand, let me see. I put in raise it. But good morning again, Trinidad and Tobago. Today, I have an interview with a gentleman. A gentleman of plenty controversy, started around him, you know what I mean? It is achievement. But, boy, oh boy. But today I have him in studio, and today I'm going to talk to him about an upcoming event that's happening in his community. And I am going to, I'm going to introduce him. The reason why I've stolen a little bit, I'm feeling as if something's supposed to happen and it didn't happen as yet. Oh, this is what's supposed to happen.
You ready for the ultimate football showdown? Alderman Kareem Marcel and Renewing Hope Foundation presents Unity Call Football League 2024. It's time for seven-a-side football like you've never seen it before. Kick it off at the Beetham Gardens Recreational Grounds on Friday, 27th September at 7 p.m. sharp with a massive first place prize of $100,000 up for grabs. This is the competition you don't want to miss. Teams, it's time to get ready. Registration is open now, but you don't want to wait because the deadline is Wednesday, 25th September. The fee, only $2,500 per team. So come lock in your spot and show your skills on the field. Check out the official social media page of Kareem Marcel for the registration link or more information. Or you can hit us up on WhatsApp at 294-7814. This is football. This is unity. This is the Unity Call Football League 2024. Be there.
Yeah, boy. Well, I will be there, you know. I don't know about anybody else, but I get a personal invitation to be there. And I will be there. I don't know about you, but I will be there at this Unity Call Football. You know, I like the name Unity Call. It means that you could come from anywhere. You understand? And be a part of this Unity Call Football Tournament by Alderman Kareem Marcel. Just something you'll be saying, Alderman SC. Let me just go on there. You know how to chew, you know how to chew with a little peacock. How are you, Mr. Olderman? How are you?
I am fine, thank you. Good morning, Pastor Google, and good morning to all the listeners of the Street 919 FM. It's always such a pleasure to be here. I feel part of the extended family of the Street 919 FM. So I'm always grateful to be here.
So, Unity Call football tournament. You're calling on, and this is how I see it, you can correct me.
Yeah.
When I hear say Unity Call, it's a call you're making to all the footballers across Trinidad and Tobago to assemble at a place where people feel nothing good could come out of. An area, a community, come and be a part of something great. So you're making a call. It's not just a normal call, but this is a unity call. That's the difference.
Yeah, I think that my job here today is done. Because you have said it so eloquently, Pastor Google, and I think that is the message that that we wanted to come from this. And I personally didn't come up with the name. We sat in a room with about 40-something young persons from throughout East Port of Spain.
Okay.
About 4 or 5 months ago, in April or May. And we started this conversation that I told them I have an idea to through sport, to bring our communities together within our communities and communities amongst us to really unify us through sports. And I have said, Pastor Google, and it's my firm belief that our present situation in terms of the crime situation, the borderline, the disunity that is plaguing our society requires all hands on deck. It's not a government-only issue. It is not a family-only issue. It's not a police-only issue. It is an issue that we must all put our hands, our hearts, our minds together to contribute. And this is my simple, it is my team and I, it's our simple attempt to foster unity amongst our communities and within our communities. And that is the idea, a call for unity through sports. And that is the aim of it, where we, recently somebody messaged me and told me they really want to join. It's 100,000 first place, and they really want to come and why if I could change the venue. I said, well, I am from Beetham Gardens. I live Beetham Gardens. When I go home at night, I go home in Beetham Gardens, right? And therefore, my target group is communities like mine, right? And we are not afraid and ashamed of it. We are opening our doors in Beetham Gardens and welcoming the whole of Trinidad and Tobago to come and be a part of an initiative that signifies throughout the country that we are fed up of we are fed up of the borderline issues. We are tired of the disunity in our communities. We are fed up of the gang warfare, and it is no one is winning the war. And we are putting forward this initiative, and we hope that so many others would continue to join on board, and not only in terms of this initiative, but it may inspire others to do similar initiatives, because God knows that we need all hands on deck in this fight against crime.
That's Laventille section in there.
Yeah.
That's your
the best are the best.
Well, I don't know that.
Laventille is the heartbeat of Trinidad and Tobago, It is where our national instrument was formulated, Laventille is the home of Winston Spree Simon. We are the rhythm, we are the pulse of Trinidad and Tobago, and I feel immense pride, to be Laventille strong. And we work with pride, despite all the challenges that we face, that we know that we are greater than the challenges that we may face, and we know that we have more positive than negatives coming out of our communities.
So this event is starting this Friday.
This Friday.
What time?
This Friday at 7 p.m. sharp. We're going to have a grand. Of course, you can wear street quarters, you can wear slippers, you can wear shoes, sneakers. You know, it's a chill vibes, and that is what we coming out to. It's more about, you know, coming with the right mindset and the right heart. And that's what we are focused on. I mean, we have $100,000 up for grabs.
Wow.
It is the first time, definitely, in East Port of Spain that we are having a competition like this with a first prize of $100,000.
So this Friday, it starts this Friday at 7 p.m. And so when is it finishing? So it's only happening on Friday, or it's continuing?
No, so we start on Friday, and it's going to be every week between Thursday and Sunday.
Okay.
Right, on evenings. So we'll take the Monday to Wednesday off, prepare grounds, you know, assess what we need to assess, improve wherever we may need to improve. And I just have an amazing team of volunteers. And you know, I think they give me the push. You know, I was saying that, you know, as this initiative is coming close, you know, it's stressful. You have the anxiety of, you know, you wonder this, you wonder that. But I have a team of young people that support me 100%, and they are down and they're always ready. In fact, this morning, you know, the first call I woke up to was a young man from Phase 4 Beetham Gardens, and he was like, "Hey, I didn't see the ruler come today. You tell me the ruler was coming early this morning. I didn't see the ruler. Find out from the corporation what is going on." Right? So I called the corporation. They said they had some issues with the transport, but it's coming Wednesday, sure, you know, to really feel as we prepare, because we're going to, and they are excited. The community is you know, throughout East Port of Spain. I think we are beaming with excitement for this one.
So how do you register for this tournament? Where do you well, I know you'll give out the numbers to call, and tell us how we go about registering. And if you are an adult footballer, you're listening to this program, you know some young people in your community who should be a part of this tournament, listen to the information that is going to be given so that you can register them, and you can find out all the nitty-gritty details about show people that you have a color code and all these different things. So the Unity Call 7-a-side football tournament starts this Friday. The opening ceremony is this Friday. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be lights, camera, action. We are going to have live entertainment from some of the biggest names, with positive messages, you know, of unity. And that is the team. And maybe people would guess that they may be able to pinpoint some of the artists, but we intend to have a full contingent of dignitaries coming to witness this opening ceremony. And we expect we're going to have a lot of teams there playing. We're going to start off the competition right away. Games are going to be played. We have a lot of surprises in stock. We have partnered with the relevant authorities and so on, to provide the necessary support that we need. And I feel very, 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 very certain that by God's grace, this opening ceremony on Friday, 7 p.m., Beetham Gardens Recreational Ground, is going to be immensely successful. The first place, again, is $100,000. And we are so excited to see. In fact, the footballers on Beetham, they are convinced and they are overconfident that the 100,000 is going to stay in Beetham, because they are going to win. And I just hope at the end of the day, regardless of who wins, I know that, our job will be, I would assess it, based on the unity, based on the, young people. There are certain things that we are putting in place. So, for example, you have to shake hands before the game. Right.
Regardless of what community you're from, we show that we giving extra prizes and so on for persons who show that camaraderie, who pushes discipline at its highest, who able to embody the spirit of the unity that we are calling for, right? So the kickoff being on Friday, registration closes on Wednesday.
Okay.
We have a few. I am telling you, when I put it out, the we have because we're only taking 20 teams.
Okay.
All right? And the registration fee is 2,500. And what we have done is that you will have, in terms of registered players, between 12 to 15 registered players. And we have two options. We have an online option where you click on the link, and the link is available, and that link is available on my official Instagram page as well as Facebook page. Where you click, we also have the flyer in terms of the steps. So the first step is that you go on, you put in your information on a Google document. You put in your team name. We made as a condition relative to the team names that we don't want any names that project or affiliate or promotes any gang, any violence, any sort of criminal activities. And a lot of people, well, I young and hip, right? And I'm from the community of Beta Gardens. And I say that to say that we will know. I mean, I know the songs, right? I know it's not only 6, 7, 8, and 9. I know what they may call it and so on. And we encourage persons to put team names that exemplify that unity, that unity spirit, because God knows that is what we need. So after you put in your team names, your players names, your manager, your coach, etc., and that is where you register first, and then you can make your deposit by way of our First Citizens bank account, the Union Hope Foundation First Citizens bank account, which all that information as well is on our pages, and followed by then you send your receipt. You send your receipt as soon to our hotline, or WhatsApp hotline, and that is the registration process in terms of online. For a lot of persons are not technologically savvy, and therefore we have also printed physical forms, and you can contact the hotline and we would arrange to drop off the forms to you. We can either send a PDF or you can collect the forms. But it was surprising. We launched registration week before Friday, and it was surprising because persons was so excited about it that we had a team registering on the same day, paying their registration fee on the same day that of the opening, and they are hailing from quite an east, very far in east. Okay. And that is what we want to encourage. So we ask persons to ensure that they have few spots left. Wednesday is the closing off date, so we encourage all teams to get on board to register. We have even said to teams that the important thing is registering online, because we would come up with payment plans for different persons, and we have also had a few sponsors reach out and say, I want to sponsor a team. I don't have a team to bring, but I am so impressed with this initiative that I'm willing to pay and sponsor a team. So we have had that so far. So we are asking persons to register, book your spots, because there are very few spots. The last time I checked on Friday, there was about 6 or 7 spots left. Okay. So it's very important that persons, register, put in their information. And even as we come up with, even if we give a month deferral or we get the sponsors to pay. But the idea behind it is really just to have a wide cross section of communities coming together and to unify through sports.
What's the hotline number?
Yeah, so the hotline number is 294-7814. So that again is 294-7814. But it's a WhatsApp hotline, so you can message and you can call via WhatsApp concerning all your registration concerns. So we expect a big kickoff, a very big kickoff. People are buzzing. In fact, one of these two persons who sell clothes, they tell me they're so glad that they come back. They say how young people are buying up clothes and they're excited for it. Wow. And they're buying the slippers and they're really excited. And what we are going to also do is that we're going to have a business hub in terms of entrepreneurs from East Port of Spain who will be given places to sell free of no cost at all to sell their produce. So whether it's food, whether you want to sell a handbag, whatever the case may be, we give you the assigned spot, you will make arrangements whether you want to bring in a tent, whether you don't want to bring in a tent. And that also, and it's a whole holistic thing. It's not only about a football competition, because anybody can keep a football competition. It is the idea and the vision behind it, that we can see economic activity, that we could foster that unity within our communities, because there are young persons who even from 10, 11, we are noticing having this mindset that they are not to talk to this one here or not to be friends with this one here in schools because they are living John or they live in Simple Street or they live in Beatham. And we have to cut them out of it from very, very young. And when they can see initiatives like this, and they see, positive young persons within our communities coming out and saying to the population and saying to them that we are bigger and better than that, and we want unity, because God knows that this is exactly what we need, and that's why we need all hands on deck. The Prime Minister always said, that hard work is for young people, and I take that mantle. And when the Honorable Prime Minister also said, for young people to step forward and take responsibility for your nation. When you see that quote, and I want to leave that with, I want to repeat that for all the young persons, anybody within Trinidad and Tobago who can hear my voice, that the Honorable Prime Minister said to the youth of Trinidad and Tobago, that young people must step forward and take responsibility for this nation. What does that mean to me? It means that I have a responsibility, not just for today, but for my future tomorrow, and for those that come after me, to be responsible in creating a better nation. And therefore, it doesn't mean that I have to have the grandest initiatives, or I need to go out and arrest people and lock up persons. But every day in my lifestyle, every day in my deeds and my words and my thoughts and my heart, that I have a responsibility to this nation to contribute positively to it, to impact the most amount of lives that I can possibly do so in a positive way. And that is what I say, that I took up the Prime Minister's, the Honorable Prime Minister's, request, his request to us, and that pledge for us to come forward and take responsibility for this nation.
So if you're now joining me and you want to know what's happening, this is what's happening, and we want you to listen to the ad, and then we're going to come back and give you opportunity to come in and call and talk to Mr. Marcel. But this is what we're talking about today.
Are you ready for the ultimate football showdown? Oliver, Kareem Marcel, and Renewing Hope Foundation presents Unity Call Football League 2024. It's time for 7-a-side football like you've never seen it before. Kick it off at the Beatham Gardens Recreational Grounds on Friday, 27th September at 7 p.m. sharp, with a massive first place prize of $100,000 up for grabs. This is the competition you don't want to miss. Teams, it's time to get ready. Registration is open now, but you don't want to wait, because the deadline is Wednesday, 25th September. The fee, only $2,500 per team. So come lock in your spot and show your skills on the field. Check out the official social media page of Kareem Marcel for the registration link or more information. Or you can hit us up on WhatsApp at 294-7814. This is football. This is unity. This is the Unity Call Football League 2024. Be there.
stadium section and thing too?
Of course, it's the full works. Trust me when I say that. It's the full works. It's going to be a grand opening like no other. It's going to be the only person that is not happy is my bank account. But it's
You say the only person that would not be happy is the bank account. You serious,
my
right?
bankers and my accountants, yeah, they wouldn't be, but you know, it's you know, I want to, you know, we still have some, you know, some sponsors, some key sponsors, mostly from the government of Trinidad and Tobago, which I am very proud and pleased to be our major partners in this initiative. We have the Ministry of Sports,
Right.
the Ministry of Sports and Community Development. We have the National Lotteries Control Board. We have UDICOT. We have Esports Spain Development Company. I call the rest of them. I want to single out Esports Spain Development Company, not for only this initiative, but for the type of meaningful work that the Esports Spain Development Company have been doing in Esports Spain. Led by I think perhaps the most dynamic chairman that the company could have, which is Hillan, the former deputy mayor, Hillan, and that I think is, as we look. I know it's not the politics, but when I look at PNM vision for this country, when I look at the vision through organized state entities like these, I think that it's really they are really fulfilling their purpose, and I think that we must give credit where credit is due. And we have some other sponsors who would be coming along, and we look forward to just making the best of it. And this is just another initiative through the different avenues that the Honorable Prime Minister has set in motion in terms of guiding this country and providing opportunities for our young people.
Right.
Because it is because of the Honorable Prime Minister's vision, and being able to take us through the challenges as a nation that we had, that we could come and really put on initiatives that are geared towards community building and nation building. So we want to salute our partners, supported heavily by the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and we want to thank them, and we ask that they continue to support. I think that anyone who comes to any of our events, I know that one of the last events that you would have visited was our Trans Christmas party, even that, the success of our Trans Christmas party, I think that is beyond every year. It keeps growing. We start off at one amount, and last year I could confirm that in terms of gifts, we had 2,500 children under the age of 10 present at our Trend Christmas party last time around, and a count by the protective services in terms of the attendance of almost 7,000 persons on the Beetham Gardens recreational grounds. We intend to continue to grow and get bigger and better. And it's one aim. And I can say I definitely don't do it for me.
Yeah.
It would be less stress on me. I would be more financially responsible. I may even prosper more in terms of focusing on only my career and building a life for me and my family.
Yeah.
But I know that it took a community to raise me.
Yeah.
All right. It took Beetham Gardens to raise me. It took Lavantil to raise me. It took Esports Spain to raise me, and it also took a diaspora of persons throughout this nation who was always able to push and support me.
I looked at a video some years ago with you in the studio here with some other young people from the Beetham.
Yeah.
When you used to come in the
Night.
with me. If I show you some pictures, you will cry, you know.
And it's late in the night. I have to go and convince Isaiah mother, say, nah, we go in there, we come in, and you know, and these people are doing, like for example, Isaiah Philip. Who is Isaiah Philip? Is also a key member of my of the Renewing Hope Foundation, as well as, you know, there's a true supporter and member of my team. And Isaiah has his bachelor's in I think his finance and accounting, and then he also has right now he's studying for his master's in art of lockjack, and he expects to finish this year or early next year. And it's just an indication of, you know, and Isaiah is one of the most brilliant young people you can meet, and well disciplined, full with morals and values, and he hails from the best community, Beetham Gardens, the best place in Trinidad and Tobago, love until, you know, and it just goes to show that, you know, as we continue to go with this motion, that we stop and we recognize and we show young people that you too can face all the challenges, can come from. I don't even think that, you know, when we start in communities like ours, where persons look down at you and feel that you are less than. There are people today that, regardless of whatever you achieve, there are people today who would laugh with you, who would knock glasses with you, who many times don't see you as anything close to them, equal to them. Don't give you that, but because they feel as if even just being from Beetham, that you are less than. You know, so sometimes we start not only at zero, but sometimes we start at minus, right? And to know that you can come from that and you can achieve your truest potential, that you can go to a country, you are born into a country where, regardless of if you are from Penal, whether you're from Charlottesville, whether you're from Sangre whether you're from Beetham, whether you're from Cedars, whether you're from St. Paul Street, whether you're from Nelson Street, whether you're from John, that you would have an education, that you can go preschool for free, that you can go secondary school for free, and you may not have that your parents may not have the money to feed you, but there's a school feeding program. They may not have money to send you to secondary school, but guess what? Secondary school is free, right? And you go to school and the same thing, and meals are provided, and you can jump on a PTSD bus for free, and you can go to school and you can literally travel to almost any part in this country as a child, as a student for free. Then you can go to secondary school, you can work hard, and you don't have to study to pay. Your parents don't have to study to pay for CXC, like in Jamaica and Barbados and all these different other CARICOM nations, and throughout the world, most countries do not provide those free opportunities, and we sometimes take it for granted, and many times we have to remind our population that this is the true Trinidad and Tobago is the true land of opportunities, where you can go from secondary school and you can go and do almost any degree that you want to do, and once you are truly in need, it is 100% free. But if your parents can afford a little piece, the government tell you, well, here's what, you pay a little piece, and that is the vision of it. And you can go out and you can be an Isaiah Philip, you can be a curry master, you can be anything, and that is how we know that we are getting the job done, right? We are far from finished, but it's a mission that we are on to do it. A teacher called me the other day from and I laughed, and I'm saying this and I'm laughing. She told me that 3 students came into her office, discipline related issues, and she asked them who in the community that they look up to. She didn't even know that all of them were from Beetham Gardens, and all 3 said at the same time, Curry Marcel. And she called me after, so she asked one, well, why? So one said, this is a joke, Lord Father Oliver, I hope the child words fall on me. It is not true, but I'm just saying it, right? He said the child say, he just do good things and he rich. He real rich. I want to be rich like he. Yeah, man. He just keep big Christmas parties. Wow. And he going on to say here, man. And you know, back to school, and the 2 children are watching and observing. And I'm saying this to say that the more what I saw it as, why I laugh and I say, Lord, what they're trying to get me in, is that the more that we have positive young people who are rooted in their community, who will lie on the block and still go and do the right thing in the morning, who will not, you know, because there are persons who from our community who may do good and they wouldn't pass and tell you good morning, you know. They wouldn't pass and tell you good morning. They would not. They don't seek to truly mentor anybody or to create. But even those, once you can set an example that you can come from poverty, that you can do the right thing, that you can take full advantage of every opportunity that our nation has to offer, and that you can become almost anything in this little twin island republic called Trinidad and Tobago, and you can achieve your truest potential without having to hold a firearm, without having to hold a machine gun, without having to do anything unlawful, and to live your life honorably, right? I think that is important, an important example that we set for our young people, for them to chart that course. Because when they only see in our community, when they only see that the ones who hold the guns, the one who kills, who shoots, who torture the community at times, right? When they see that, and they see that at the helm of that, you have those persons who are the ones who are seen as the rich people, who are seen as the ones with the most respect, who have seen that they were poor, they enter crime and somehow they're rich, right? All of that is important when we look at it, to continue to outnumber them with positive stories and positive success story. That, hey, I see Isaiah driving a nice car, and he went to school and he worked hard. And this, I mean, I use it Isaiah, but it has so many other persons. It have Atalia, it had Jesse Williams, and throughout Trinidad and Tobago, it have Dr. Hope, throughout Laventille West, Laventille East, Port of Spain South, Port of Spain North, like, you know, all these that form part of the East, what we consider the East Port of Spain. So many positive young people, and we must highlight that.
Yeah, man. I want to say thank you to those of you joining us on the live and showing all the love. You see all the love? See all the love?
Wow.
Just want to say thank you to those of you jumping on the live, and also just reminding you that close-off date for registration is this Wednesday, already 25th. You need to register. I think Kareem said it might just have less than 6 more spots available, so you need to get your team register, and you could register online. Just go on to Kareem Marcel Facebook page and get all the directions that you need. And just remember, if you whatever you're naming your team, it must be something to unify and show love to Trinidad and Tobago. And the hotline for you to send your registration picture to or everything to is 294-7814. 294-7814. That's the WhatsApp number that you could drop, send your information to. But most of all, we want to invite you this Friday, 7 p.m. I will be there. Never know. I just had the mic posting one or two, bring on one or two little artists. Never know what could happen. Right? So this Friday, I will be there. I am one of the honorary guests. Right? Yes. Coming to work too on Friday on the BTM. So if you want to see who Google is, or you want to come and say hello to me, for sure, I will be right there. With Kareem, I'll be with his mother also. Shema, everybody. Did the BTM know me?
Yeah, of course. And we love you. And we love you. And I will tell you, and we love you. We always locked, and, we always locked onto the Street 919 FM. And as we continue to highlight, I've reached the point where I am unapologetic to support and highlight black excellence, especially when it comes from East Port of Spain. But on a whole, unapologetically so, to highlight black excellence and focus and shine in that light. And I want to as we hear as well, to salute the team and the management of the Street 919 for the work that they have done over the years in creating spaces and opportunities for what we consider the ground, to have a voice through, and to have, hosts such as yourself who really and truly understand from both levels in terms of what is going on the ground level, but also can educate persons. I think that Pastor Google, that you are doing an amazing job in continuing to educate this population.
Thank
And I know that sometimes it's a thankless job, but I want to tell you that we appreciate you, that you exemplify black excellence, and we want you to to continue that work.
Thank you very much. Shanta, here's where we have to leave it. We're going now to our news on the street, 919 FM. Don't touch your dial. Stay right here.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street, 919 FM.
Join the winning team with Pastor Alkaline John every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. to 12 noon and every Wednesday night from 7:05 p.m. to 8 p.m. live on the street 919 FM as he talks about Lviv, the power of 5 fruits, one of the most powerful antioxidant supplements on the market today. The 5 superfruits in Lviv are mangosteen, acai, pomegranate, goji, and nuni. These fruits have a positive and profound impact on human health performance and disease. Join him as he gives live testimonials of the Lviv healing powers. To get more information, you can contact Pastor Alkaline John at 516-286-7079 or you can visit his webpage at www.alkalinejohn.com. Remember, every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. and Wednesday at 7:05 p.m. live on the street 919 FM. The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Chamfleur, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on the street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Join Pastor Kelvin Heinerine and friends for The Way, The Truth, The Life Radio Ministry, a Church of God ministry, live on the street 919 FM from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. This and every Sunday on the street 919 FM. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father except through me. John chapter 14, verse 6. For further information, contact 686-3845-349-5178 or 342-7303.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 to 186 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new, with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the street 919 FM.
This message is brought to you by Island Finance Quick and Easy Loans. Need money now? Apply online to get a response in 1 minute from Island Finance. Visit islandfinancetrinidad.com. Apply today. This message was brought to you by Island Finance Quick and Easy Loans. Apply online today. The time in Trinidad and Tobago is now 12 p.m. This segment is brought to you by Island Finance. Hassle-free, unsecured loans, no down payment, no collateral, no problem. Get up to $150,000 unsecured to live your best life with Island Finance. For anything you need, visit a branch near you and live your best life today. This segment was brought to you by Island Finance. Get up to $150,000 unsecured to live your best life.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
news from the street. 919fm.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon, I'm Chinaka Phipps and this is the news on the streets of 919 FM. In the headlines, man who was murdered in Tobago is said to be linked to a hit list. Killers waited 2 hours before murdering man. Kangaroo Jack has died. Citizens speak out in St. Joseph. Internationally, 43 students from Mexico who have been missing for 10 years. Pictures flood the stairways at the Raul Isidro Burgos Rural Normal School. And in another international story, news, 300 targets have been struck in Lebanon. On top of the news, a man who was popularly known in Argyle area, identified as Nicholas Mitchell, 32, also known as Daddy T, was gunned down yesterday morning. It has been reported he was killed hours apart of a victim by the name of Brandon Edwards, also of Argyle area, which is linked to the murder of Beetham resident Amanda Guerra. Mitchell's mother stated whoever came climbed up on the window and shot him on his bed. He got up from the bed and ran to his door there. She said her son used his final breath to call out to her, then collapsed and died. His murder was reported around 2 a.m. while he slept at his home at Main Road, Argyle, by men unknown to him. His mother believes he is one of the men marked for death in the community following the murder of Beetham Gardens resident Amanda Dolly Boss Guerra at Lamy Road in August. She died at the Roxborough General Hospital while receiving emergency treatment. A hit was also marked for him a week after Guerra's passing, but Mitchell managed to escape by running into the sea and swimming, resulting on a doctor being shot in the neck by a stray bullet. The Chief Secretary was called for comments, but his calls went unanswered. In more news, reports came in that Shaquille Frame Trotman, 31 of Hamilton Trace, Old Bay Road, Maracas, was killed while liming around 7 p.m. Witnesses stated at 5 p.m. a silver Hyundai Ioniq was seen driving east into Old Bay Road, Maracas, and parked. 2 hours later, the driver pulled out of the spot, stopped near Trotman, and the 2 men got out shooting at him. Running after a short distance, Trotman collapsed. The gunmen stood over him and continued shooting. It was also said the men then got back into the car and escaped. Police said they recovered over 20 spent shells at the scene, including 12 7.62mm spent shell casings, 1 live 9mm round, and 27 9mm spent shells casings. Investigations on this matter are continuing. In further news, the famous red kangaroo Jack that resided at the Emperor Valley Zoo is said to have died. Questions were circulating about the kangaroo's whereabouts, and the Zoological Society has revealed he died on May 3rd. The zoo's latest statement, signed by zoo consultant John Sajagat, reported the cause of death established by the IWER School of Veterinary Medicine. The cause of death, as he was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy, it refers to any disorder that affects the heart muscle. The autopsy found feces present in the rectum, while the remainder of the intestinal tract was empty. The cardiomyopathy is likely the main contributor to the death of this animal, leading to pulmonary and hepatic congestion with fibrosis, Sajagat said. Sajagat opened his statement by apologizing on behalf of the zoo and the Zoological Society for any missed calls and or appointments to speak with the ZSTT representative on the kangaroo issue. They also mentioned the zoo and the society take animal welfare seriously and provide exemplary husbandry and care of its animals. Jack lived a full life and passed away with dignity at age 12 to 14 years. Meanwhile, in news, on Sunday at the Citizen Summit on Crime and Violence at the TML grounds in St. Joseph, citizens voiced their concerns. There were presentations from a panel including former UNC MP Dr. Botiwari, Mizra Ali Mohammed, Chairman of the Tobago Business Chamber Martin George, Ricardo Mohammed, Marva John Logan, Isa Mohammed, and Pastor Clive Dutton. Citizens then voiced their concerns about the crime situation and what they believed could be done about it. Concerns voiced by economist Sage Juan that Trinidad and Tobago's people are voiceless and feel helpless, not just against crime but against those in authority. A man from Felicity said criminal activity is not increasing because of poverty but because of a lack of shame. Poverty is an excuse for criminality. Pastor Clive Dutton stated another state of emergency might be necessary, further saying that it is just the immediate reaction. It can't be just that. We need to immediately fix the judicial system and deal with backlogs. We have to deal with rogue elements in our services. In the summit, several other contributions were made. And internationally, all countries have crimes that resonate. In Mexico, one of the modern-day ones is the disappearance of 43 students from a rural teachers' college in 2014. 10 years later, it's still not clear where the students from the rural normal school are. Authorities believe they are killed, but have only turned up small bone fragments from 3 of them. The families, with the support of the school known for its radical activism, continue to demand justice. They maintain a lack of political will is responsible for not finding the truth. If it was a state of crime, as the current administration says, the government must know what happened and who is hiding information. In a country with more than 115,000 registered disappearances, this case continues to hold the public's attention because it combined cartel violence and corrupt authorities and remains stubbornly unresolved. And in more international news, the Israeli Defense Force on Monday launched a large-scale airstrike campaign targeting more than 300 Hezbollah positions in southern and eastern Lebanon. This came after the IDF issued warnings to civilians to evacuate their homes in advance of the operation. The military announced that the strikes were concentrated in southern Lebanon and the Bekaa Valley. The IDF warplanes reportedly struck terror targets belonging to Hezbollah that the statement mentioned. The chief of the general staff has approved the strikes of Hezbollah targets from the IDF headquarters underground operations center, the IDF stated on X, noting that over 300 targets have been struck so far. Major General Yuri Gordon, commander of the Israel's Northern Command, conducted a situation assessment with fire center commanders leading the attack in the northern region. The IDF detected more than 25 launches from Lebanon. The Air Defense Forces intercepted several rockets, while other projectiles landed in open areas near Ahmed. Now let's take a look at the sports and the weather report. In sports, congratulations to the Trinbago Knight Riders. After winning their first match of the competition, the Patriots have lost every game since, but this defeat in Taruba seemed particularly cruel after they posted a seizable 193-4 with the bat after being inserted at the toss. Captain Andre Fletcher led from the front with a brilliant innings of 93 from 61 balls, including shots all round the ground and 6 sixes struck into the crowd. Fletcher was denied a deserved century, falling short by 7 runs when Chris Jordan had him caught by the bucket hands of Kieran Pollard on the long off boundary. The Knight Riders were clinical in their chase, Jason Roy blitzing 64 runs from 34 deliveries at the top of the order before Nicholas Puran finished the job in some style, striking a flat 6 down the ground his 7th of the evening to finish the match. And in more sports, Barcelona extended its perfect start to the Spanish League season, but lost goalkeeper Marc-Andre ter Stegen with a serious knee injury on a Sunday. Barcelona routed host Villarreal 5-1 to pick up its 6th straight victory in the competition, but saw captain ter Stegen leave the match on a stretcher before halftime after his right knee buckled when he fell awkwardly after going up for a ball crossed into the area. Barcelona president Joan Laporta said the injury appeared to be a torn ligament, but more tests would be conducted. Local media reports said ter Stegen went from the stadium to the hospital in an ambulance and left the hospital in a wheelchair. Barcelona has outscored its opponents 22-5 in its first 6 games. It has a 4-point lead over Real Madrid, which beat Espanyol 4-1 on Saturday. And that's all for sports. Now let's head on over to the weather. For the period this afternoon and tonight, Trinidad, Tobago and the remainder of the Lesser Antilles, very cloudy with isolated showers and a low to medium chance of the afternoon heavier shower or thunderstorm. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding may occur near heavy or thunderstorms. In our temperature last night, we had a minimum temperature of 25.8 degrees in Trinidad and 27.2 degrees in Tobago. Our maximum temperature today is 33 degrees in Trinidad and 32 degrees in Tobago. Our seas are slight waves are up to 1 meter in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. Recapping the headlines, man who was murdered in Tobago is said to be on a hit list. Killers waited 2 hours before murdering man. Kangaroo Jack has died. Citizens speak out in St. Joseph. And internationally, 43 students from Mexico have been missing for 10 years. Pictures flood the stairways at the rural normal school. In another international story, 300 targets have been struck in Lebanon. And that's all for today. Thank you for joining me. I'm Chinaka Phipps. Do have a mesmerizing Monday.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.